and welcome back to Delta Green, everyone. We are in the world of cosmic horrors. Delta Green, the role-playing game, which is, of course, started out as a modern-day setting for Call of Cthulhu in the early 90s, and is now its own standalone role-playing game with a fairly dedicated niche fan base. We love it over here, don't we? This show is rated R because of cosmic horrors and mental and physical trauma inflicted on various characters. Not on any players, though. I hope. We have lines and veils for that. I am your friendly hander. I don't know if I'm friendly exactly. Maybe a little. Mikael Hellstrom. And with us today we have...
This is Darian playing Brian Fenton.
I'm Briar playing Dr. Alex Blair.
I'm Harper. I play Bryony Talbot, also known as Zona.
I'm Carol. I'm playing Bridget DeLuca.
Indeed. And together they form Z-Cell. I even pronounced it in American this time. I feel very proud of myself for that. Before we jump in today's episode, of course, everybody, you want to follow the channel to know more about Delta Green updates, and click subscribe and the bell icon on YouTube to get all your information from A-Cell. That's what we want. Because A-Cell, of course, is the group that orders Delta Green around, the group that coordinates this whole very clandestine, very secretive, very blacker than black group of agents that are the thin green line separating regular folks from cosmic horrors. That's what they do. That's what you guys do, isn't it? Now it's your job to do this. You signed up for this. Mwahaha. Just a little bit cackling over here. This time, we're not jumping straight into a new case file. We are jumping into these people working on what's going on at the home front, because it's in fact going to be a couple of years between their last mission, which was their last mission when they were not Delta Green agents, and their first operation as Delta Green agents. That's what it is going to be, isn't it? All we know at the moment is that these people will, at some point or another, get an email or a phone call from A-Cell inviting them to a night at the opera. And then they'll just have to go wherever they're told to go. Hopefully within the auspices of FBI. Possibly not. You never know what's going to drop by your... But... before they get to that particular point, of course, they're just going to have a nice time at home and enjoy the calm before the storm, perhaps. And that little calm is what we're going to enjoy today. This is 1994. We are on August 16th. And so many times before this, we will do it by quarters. Because that's an easy way to organize things, I guess. So, August, September... yeah, we'll start with the October quarter, obviously. Fall is coming! We've already done a little bit of... we wrapped up last session with the reactions at home when these agents arrived from that traumatizing, for some, mission. Some are now having the 1,000-yard stare after being adapted to violence. Don't think anyone actually went into the breaking point, though. So far, we're so good with that, aren't we? Yeah. It's close for some, but not quite there yet. Good for you. First of all, I think, why don't we all go down to the bottom right of the character sheet on the Skills tab and click Apply Skill Improvement. Let's see if our agents can improve their skills a little bit, having drawn conclusions from their field experiences. Here we go. Lots of improvements all over. Some improve more than others, maybe? I don't know. Alertness, human and alertness, and firearms, I have a feeling, is also a very popular skill to increase sometimes. I think it's amazing that we have a demolition going up here. That doesn't happen every time, but this time it did. Human is a very important commodity in this game. All right, we're home from our mission. I'm not sure that everybody will necessarily stay where... Let's see now, where's that one? Oh, look at that. Okay, activate. Here we go. We need to add another marker here because look at you guys. You've been in Davy's Landing, and now we've been... What is that? Arizona there? Something like that? Yep. And now we're back home again. Ish. Phoenix, Arizona-ish. Yeah. And now we're back home again, but it's not necessarily so that you all will be working together now. You might be working at all sorts of places across the states, depending on agency needs. I might have to improve the placement of that particular marker, but it's somewhere there. So my American geography is not quite as good as my Canadian geography because I'm Canadian. What can I tell you? But anyway, you're going to be working somewhere in the world for this quarter. Where might we end up, do we think? Because again, you're a cell in Delta Green, but you're not necessarily continuous working team in FBI. And now that the powers that be don't necessarily want to compel you to work together, the agency might, the FBI might send you just about anywhere. Blair, are we thinking that we're going to stay in DC and just do there's a lot of lab work for these guys, isn't it? Blair,
Yeah.
DeLuca are definitely very indoor styled people. Because we have one computer forensics person and one dead bodies forensics person. And I don't know, Talbot feels like she's more in the field, doesn't it?
The 50-50 thing for her. The buildings she's in are usually no longer standing.
Yeah, that's...
But there's also going to be a lab.
And then you have to be outside because it's no longer standing. You have to collect things, and then you have to take it to a lab and analyze it there.
Yeah.
Maybe you're a bit more ambulatory because I don't think that the FBI has that many explosives scenes for them to have permanent... I don't know. If there's an FBI agent watching this and want to correct me, feel free. I'm just guessing. I just have this feeling that Fenton might be the one who is most continuously in the field with Luca and then Talbot and Blair in some kind of order.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that when she doesn't have a specific job with the FBI, they just loan her out to state departments. You want this one?
Yeah, that makes sense. Interagency cooperation, you have just supporting local law enforcement sometimes with expertise. Even if it's not a federal case, the locals in rural areas can definitely call someone in from the feds to give them help when they don't have the expertise.
Yeah.
So and there are other federal agencies as well, like marshals and whatnot. No, I don't know how often the marshals would use you, but the DEA I could see every once in a while. Maybe not as active in '94 as now, given the ramping up of cartels in Mexico, but since then, and so on. This time in the US, let's see now if there is any milestones that any of you might remember. I'm an old man. I remember 1994. The pilot episode of Friends airs in September 22nd on NBC. Who is watching Friends, y'all?
I'll be there for you.
Bryony's mom probably dragged her into the living room. Look at this.
It's a show that's pretty much directed to your generation, isn't it? Like, young adults or slightly older than young adults. You're in your... Okay, Blair might be a little bit long in the tooth for that particular show, but if you're like 25 to 35, that's the target audience for the show. Of course, you should also be like urban and stuff, but okay, I hear that nobody is very... Yeah, I'm all over that show. How about Pulp Fiction then? In October.
Absolutely.
This is true. I have a chat here. Everyone watched Friends. This is absolutely true. Everybody did. Except me, because I was not in the US. We got it eventually, too. Pulp Fiction? Anyone interested in Tarantino at all? This is like Tarantino's heyday. He's just becoming... This is like his breakthrough movie almost. Reservoir Dogs was before that, yes, but this is really big splash.
Absolutely. I went and saw that, and would people realize that he had a thing about feet by that point?
I don't think so, because it was just a second movie. Yeah. Maybe turn up your volume a little bit there, Carol. Oh, here's something DeLuca will be on in November. The first conference devoted entirely to the subject of the commercial potential of the World Wide Web in early November of San Francisco. Yeah, in San Francisco, yeah. Netscape is there. Huh? Anybody remember Netscape? I remember Netscape. The first really big browser. What else did we have? Rapper Tupac Shakur is shot 5 times and robbed. And this is a... I'm also old, Mr. Slendy. I'm super old. Okay, this was in chat. Anyway, we have, America Online purchased BookLink as a browser to offer its users a gateway to the World Wide Web for the first time. The beginning of easy accessibility of the web to the average person in the US. How about that? It means that not only DeLuca will be able to access it, but also the rest of you. Are any of you getting onto the Webby Web?
I've
Probably just
everybody
the
I
sending.
know into doing it.
What was that?
Probably just to send emails to people.
That makes sense. Because what else would it be good for, right?
Yeah. And also just because, like, that's all she knows how to do with it.
You can go and observe websites? What is that even? I don't know. It's strange.
You all get monthly emails with like tips and tricks for how to use the internet.
At one point, DeLuca just gets an email in all caps asking how to turn caps lock off.
That would make sense. I'm just scrolling through some of my notes here, looking for other milestones for the FBI, particularly. The Clinton administration continues to back the FBI and NSA as they lobby the computer and telecommunication industry for standardization of encryption technology. DSS is adopted by the federal government as its data security standard. Oh, Frank Corder dies by crashing a single-engine plane into the White House. Francisco Duran is arrested for spraying the White House with gunfire. His defense that he was attacking a strange mist on the White House lawn does not prevent his being convicted for the attempting to assassinate President Clinton. While Talbot is waiting for 5 minutes for websites to load, because... Do you even remember what the websites looked like back then? I don't know if you do. Maybe you're too young, some of you.
No, I didn't gain sentience until the very end of the 2000s.
Oh my god. Okay. Website in... Just look it up. Google it, what they looked like, because it's a sight to behold. They were so full of colors. Like, all of them. And overloading your eyes. Yes, all of them.
Like Magenta Comic Sans?
Yes, all of it. And all the other colors too. Magenta right next to shockingly pink. Hurt the eyes as much as possible. That was the fashion of the time. See, what kind of personal pursuits might we be doing this fall of 1994 when we're apparently not watching Pulp Fiction, you heathens? What other? Forrest Gump? Anybody watching Forrest Gump?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That came out, that's actually basically just out when you guys get home from your mission. Perfect way to relax and decompress from that mission. Stargate, Interview with the Vampire, Star Trek Generations. The Santa Claus was apparently the big Christmas movie. Also, Dumb and Dumber.
Talbot definitely saw Interview with the Vampire, just in case she had to face a vampire for Delta Green.
That makes
I'm doing
sense.
research.
And then it turns out it was basically a homoerotic story with Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Just wait until the 2000s.
Exactly.
2020s, sorry.
Yeah, I still haven't seen the show because it's so difficult to find the new show.
On-
Like, it was pretty good.
It's on AMC.
Yeah, I know,
think.
but I can't access it for some reason. It's been... Anyway, I digress. Alex Blair, what are we doing? Personal pursuits. Fulfill responsibilities, back to nature, all of that stuff.
Yeah. Therapy.
There.
Is
Fair. Go to therapy.
Yeah, yeah. Blair isn't telling the full truth, of course, because I'm not risking that.
Because how could you?
Yeah, that'd be too
You
much of
know,
a mess.
Because you are an excellent therapist, Dr. Blair, not just a medical doctor, you could function as a therapist for your colleagues, should they so want.
At least they'd be able to tell the truth.
At least they'd be able to tell the truth, exactly. Unfortunately, I don't think you can therapize yourself. Therapy
that
yourself.
sucks.
Yeah. So, go to therapy. Roll a luck check, Dr. Blair.
Please.
That works. It's a critical success. Amazing. Okay, then. Yeah, that's great. You gain 6 with a critical success. So, back up with some serious sanity there. Almost back to your full potential. But not only that, I do believe that you get your bond with a therapist equal to half of your agent's charisma. Who is your therapist? We don't know that yet. We need a name for your therapist.
Yeah, I'm looking up a name generator. I'm not good with names.
Me neither. Also, of course, I see that some of you will have gone through some time in the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you were banged up from a certain car crash.
Sorry.
We don't remember that at all, do we? To heal properly here, you stay in a hospital for recuperation here. You recover yourself. If you rest in a safe place with proper food and water, you get to roll the Constitution ×5 test once per day to recover 1 hit point. And if you have treatment, you can get a D4 hit points even. Within a week or so, most of y'all should be back on your feet properly. So I'll just record your better health status. Brooke Lee is your new therapist. So when you're sitting with your therapist, you're telling her, what are we telling her?
Oh God.
We're not telling the full truth, we know that.
Yeah, I guess just telling her about the whole minus the alien parasite thing.
Because you don't have to mention that it is in fact an alien parasite thing. You just can go into all the... There was a lot of gunfire, and we were under fire, and it was terrifying.
Yes.
So...
And all the stress from it.
PTSD warning, right? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Since you're going to therapy, who are we losing a point and a bond to?
Oh, we're gonna say Dad for this time. I'm probably gonna evenly distribute it all again.
That makes sense. Dad is going to leave messages on your answering machine. Oh, it's that machine again. I would prefer to talk to you rather than a machine. Yeah. But I guess it's a good thing there is a machine now, so you know that I've called. Yeah. Yeah, that's another message you get there.
Yeah.
Mr. Fenton, what are you doing?
Yep. Fenton, since it's still fresh off everything, he's gonna do this stay on the case thing where he's kind of going some of the old evidence and stuff they had found and talked about, and he's being naughty. He's gonna start getting a little log of the stuff he's experienced and seen.
That is very naughty. If anyone finds the log, then bad things could ensue.
No one's told him. Nobody has explicitly told him he can't yet.
That's true, yeah.
He is a scholar.
I think they figure that since your intelligence is very, very high, not very high, but decent enough, you would have figured that out because it's blacker than black. But fair enough.
It's some of the motivations again. He is an occult scholar, so now it's his own little.
Oh, I can totally see why he would be doing that. Absolutely, yeah. There's no doubt in my mind. All right, so I guess are we doing criminology or are we doing secret roll?
Probably a alt would be more appropriate given what he's doing.
That is not a lie. I'm not going to tell you if it's a valuable clue or if it's an incorrect clue, obviously, but something is going to come your way. And I need to think about what. So let me think on that for a little moment. But you're going to regain a d6 minus 3 sanity. Let's see if you regain any sanity or if you actually lose some.
Regain 1.
That's more than nothing, right?
Yeah, it's better than nothing. I'll take it.
Exactly. We would go with that. Absolutely.
And it's going to damage my bond with Laura because she's starting to pick up that I'm hiding something from her.
Oh my, I'm wondering what that scene looks like. It's probably going to be, is it Fenton who's hiding his notebook in a secret place as she's coming in and she's, what was that? And, oh, nothing! Or is it Fenton has his own little office that he always locks now for some reason? Or...
Yep, and he won't talk about what he's working on in there all night, and he's not sharing all this information. When he goes out to libraries and stuff late at nights, he's not talking to her about that.
Yeah, she's... Oh, is she suspecting that you are having an affair? Maybe not yet. Maybe it's just the stress of the job, because it's just been a few months, right? But if it continues, maybe she will.
can't reduce the bond for some. Oh, never mind. I figured out how to do it.
Okay.
Fixed it. I got it.
Good job. What are we doing with DeLuca?
Therapy.
That makes sense. Are we going to Dr. Blair about this? Because then you can actually be honest about everything.
She will go to Dr. Blair, and she starts talking about the actual case and all those issues, and it takes her a grand total of 20 minutes to just start talking about her brother and the fight she had with her mom and Sebastian. It just completely derails from like the actual issues. She's just, and then he started yelling at me. How dare he? I just came back from a case. Alien, and he's yelling at me.
Blair just realizes, oh god, I'm gonna be the therapy friend. Oh no.
Well, since you are telling the truth, well, let's see now. The therapist can believe this, which is fine. And I guess the therapist will just have to roll a psychotherapy check. Here we go. Dr. Blair.
Okay. Where is it?
This is why you always want to keep a psychotherapist in Delta Green Cell. Success! We like it. You gain a D6 sanity. Oh, you should have had a D4 sanity for you because you weren't telling the truth. I'm going to put it down to 66 again. Sorry. Anyway. Talbot. No, DeLuca. Gain D6. Everybody's going to go to Blair, aren't they?
I'm just saying, Blair's psychotherapy is 60 when luck is 50.
Yep. DeLuca might not be focusing enough on the work after the therapy sessions, and maybe focusing too much on the gossipy part of the therapy. I don't know. What is your assessment, Dr. Blair?
She could just fail to take the advice for after. I don't know.
Yeah. It is clear that because there wasn't a critical success, there is no actual bond developing between DeLuca and Blair at this point. Speaking of bonds, who are we losing a point to here, DeLuca?
We'll go down one with Mom.
Mom? So there's going to be more phone calls and answering machine messages here. Because Mom was already a bit not so happy with the fact that DeLuca didn't call her back immediately after that scary thing in Arizona. And, yeah. Bri, where are you? You call me right now. I haven't talked to you for a week. How often do you usually talk to Mom?
Usually every couple days.
Yeah, and now it's been more than a week. Just weekly conversations, just not enough. Mom is not happy. Mom is unhappy. Talbot, what are we doing?
I'm going to try to improve the relationship I have with my mother.
Ah, we're fulfilling some responsibilities.
Yes.
Yes, because it's at a 3.
Yeah, also probably just sitting by a pool with a pina colada would be better for my mental health than
Yeah.
lying to my
I hear,
therapist.
as long as it's strictly medicinal purposes, it's great. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Roll a
the
sanity.
pina colada is filled with Tylenol.
I'm not sure that's the best combination, but I'm not a doctor, or I'm not a doctor in that particular subject. So I am a doctor, but not in that field. So not that kind of doctor. That's what I usually say.
Yeah. What do I roll? Sorry.
Sanity check,
What?
please. Go ahead.
Sanity.
Yes.
Thank you.
That works. It's
Yay!
a success. Look at that. Which means that we're gonna go up a D6.
Yay! Yay!
Boom. That's a lot. Okay, 5 points. Up to, of course, your charisma. That is exactly how high it can go right now. Remember, folks, you can use downtime actions to increase your statistics as well. Those of you who lost some charisma due to adapted to violence can, in fact, practice anger management or something if needed. That's a thing you can do.
Nah.
Or not. Entirely up to you. Entirely up to you. It's like a noir movie or something, and that's why we're having, or noir TV show, and that's why we're having rains all the time. Could it be? Maybe a little bit. December. Why is it saying that? It's not summer anymore, it's winter. Thank you very much. Okay, there we go. Anyway, how are we spending our Christmas this year? Fenton. No, Blair. I start with Blair. 1994. Yay! Almost halfway through the decade.
I know Christmas, logically, for roleplay, should be spent with family, but I also need more therapy.
No, this is not a downtime action, so I'm just.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh,
Are we spending it with family? We could spend it with family.
yeah, spending it with family.
All right.
I'm not gonna risk ruining bonds just yet.
You won't risk, doing that necessarily. It's just, I guess, they would be weirded out if you didn't show up.
Yeah. I don't need them getting suspicious or anything.
Let's see now. You are now, how old are you? It's 1994. And you are now 39 years of age. And I believe still unmarried.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure that Mom and Dad and Willow, your sibling, are all gonna ask themselves, when are you gonna find the one true love in life? Oh my god, has Willow found someone?
Has she?
I don't know. Roll a luck check, and you decide what the positive outcome is.
I'll say bad luck is.
You're lucky
I was
so
gonna
far.
say bad luck was she didn't have anybody, but I guess she does.
Oh my goodness! So you get introduced to Willow's significant other. Who is the significant other? Is it? We don't need to name them necessarily, but do we know how Willow swings at this particular time?
For right now, I'm gonna say her partner is a man,
Very well.
but
So
she probably just is bisexual or something like that.
okay,
Just
maybe.
in the closet.
Yeah, that works. It's 1994 after all.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah, it's starting to get talked to, but not as much as after the century shift, of course. But yeah, so I guess Dr. and Mrs. Blair will glare at the younger Dr. Blair. See what I did there with all the rhymes? Because you didn't bring one to Christmas.
Yeah. Maybe she should have considered asking a friend to come in as a fake date.
Fake partner.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Christmas with the Fentons is going to be great, right?
There's only two Fentons, me and Maddie.
Yeah. And
yeah,
obviously you want to celebrate Christmas together and as
No.
well. And
We'll be in Upper Massachusetts, actually, with Nye's family for Christmas.
that makes sense.
And then celebrate at the annual Christmas party at the Arcanum. Brett Fenton's getting involved with them again and getting out of his not talking to you all rut.
Yeah. And of course they're very happy to see him. You can tell that there's a lot of stuff you've missed because the conversations are going into things you didn't pick up on or you weren't there for. And
Mhm.
some of them will try to explain it, and others are just talking about it and expecting you to catch up sooner or later. DeLuca's Christmas party with Mom and younger brother and Seb is gonna be great, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's the entire family. There's so many.
All
It's
the
a-
DeLucas.
It's a traditional DeLuca thing. There are kids there. Nobody knows who they belong to. There
They're
are
just
people
running
there who
around.
like, are you related to us? I don't know. Here's a plague.
And also, half of the neighborhood's kids are coming there because they know about all the goodies that Mom DeLuca is serving up. So that's why there are kids who might not be, strictly speaking, family by blood related, but it's the neighborhood. It's just, that's how it is. Yeah. And someone will say, Dumb and Dumber was such a great movie. I love Jim Carrey.
I don't know. He's funny, but I like that new Star Trek.
At which point everybody tunes out because that's so geeky. Talbot,
I'd say Talbot. Huh?
how is the Christmas?
Talbot just packs Finley and his daughter up in her car and they drive down to Florida. She needs the emotional support to deal with her mom.
She's got it. Her mom is very pleased to see you. Dad wants you to come by as well, maybe for, I don't know, the second half of the Christmas season, the holiday season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mom is going to give you a very expensive gift. Oh, you insist on being an FBI agent? Maybe she's going to give you... She's in Florida, right?
Yeah.
Maybe she'll give you automatic pistol with silver and gold engravings on it. Like
Mom?
the most sort of kitschy type of gift she can probably come up with.
She secretly really likes it just for this fact.
It's
And
like very chrome,
it-
very shiny, with silver and gold inlays. Yeah.
it's not something she would have bought for herself, but just because her mom gave it to her in an equally gaudy house,
Yeah.
it's just yeah.
It might have a mother of pearl handle too.
Yeah.
So it's particularly shiny.
Shiny.
Very shiny.
It's something a crow would steal.
Yes, it is. Most definitely.
Is your mom part crow?
Probably. And therefore so is Talbot.
That actually makes some kind of sense.
There's a reason she has that little forklift toy in her purse.
I can see that. 1995 is about to start, everybody. It is the middle of the decade. And the History Channel is launched. And
I guess our job won't be secret for long.
Super Bowl 29. Anyone watching the San Francisco 49ers fighting off the San Diego Chargers?
You made this up.
Nope, no, I didn't.
DeLuca is watching it unwillingly, but
Everybody's watching it, apparently, except geeks. Apparently, there's trouble in Mexico that makes the news. There is a spacewalk in February. Hacker Kevin Mitnick is arrested by the FBI and charged with breaking into some of the United States' most secure computer systems. Could DeLuca have been involved in his apprehension?
yes. But it's also made her wonder, should I try hacking? Should I get a new hobby?
When you're doing it for the government, it's not hacking, is it?
True.
It's SIGINT. Big difference. Let's see, what else do we have? Stocks market is going up. Oh, we have a trial ending in Minnesota. The members of the group Patriots Council are convicted under the Biological Weapons Anti-Terrorism Act of 1989 for manufacturing ricin. The FBI was clearly working with that. I don't know if but none of you, the only one who's close to counterterrorism would be Talbot, because bombs.
Yeah, ricin's a bit too subtle for what I do, I think.
Yeah, it certainly is. Yahoo is incorporated. Another piece of DeLuca news, isn't it? And in another example of detente after the Cold War, an American astronaut is going into space on a Russian-launched vehicle. And let's see. Oh, look at that. Finally, Mississippi ratifies the 13th Amendment, becoming the last state to approve the abolition of slavery.
Oh my god.
Go team.
Wait, what?
Yes,
Really?
it's true.
In
In
1995?
1995.
Oh,
Yep.
ow. That's a fact that hurts to know.
They still had the stars and bars in their flag at that point, I believe.
I'm not surprised, I'm just disappointed.
Yeah. Yeah, the amendment was nationally ratified in 1865, but did not make it official until 2013. Academy Awards, hosted by David Letterman. Best Picture is Forrest Gump, winning 6 awards out of 13 nominations. And another singer, Eazy-E, dies of complications of AIDS. What are we doing this spring, folks? Or this winter, really. It's the winter of 1994. 1995! Gee, 95. Blair, what is your activity?
Oh, is this another option for the things?
You have fulfilled responsibilities, back to nature, establish a new bond.
I'm gonna do
improve
therapy again.
Okay, fair enough.
I just want my sanity up.
Your sanity can go up to 70 at max, I believe, so.
Yeah. Okay. Oh!
Her therapy backfires spectacularly.
Oh, I just lose 1 sanity.
You will lose 1 sanity, yeah.
Okay.
If the luck fail, yeah, you fail, you lose 1 sanity because of the fumble, indeed.
I guess
She
was-
triggers your memories somehow, your therapist.
Yeah, and then the
Dr.
session
Lee.
has to end early.
Yeah, and you find yourself back in your house, washing your face with cold water, not quite remembering how you got there.
Yeah. She's probably gonna shut down for the rest of the day and go spend time painting. To
That
try to distract
is-
herself.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Who are we losing a point to?
We'll say mom. We'll say she tried to call that day and Blair
was-
just ignored the phone.
How many phone messages do you have on your answering machine by now?
Given Christmas happened, I assume she got back to Dad, so that cleared up the messages, but now she has more.
Yep, now she has more again. Fenton! I still need
Yeah,
to
you
figure
know.
out your clues here. It's juggling all the things at once.
After reading one of his weekly DeLuca's tips for the online future, she points out how Blair is apparently a really great therapist.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And then passing Talbot in the hallway today, she's like, yeah, I talked to her too, and it was great. It was a good time. So,
Dr. Blair?
Yep, psychotherapy. What? Oh.
That is a success, I believe.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I would have been honest with her about things.
Of course. You can be. So that's a D6 sanity back to you, Dr. Fenton.
Yeah. Roll something nice. 4, I'll take it. All right, and back to where I started last last operation.
Yeah. So you're at a 78 now?
Yep.
Very nice. That gives you a little bit of buffer until your your threshold.
You're all so much saner than me.
You're all terribly sane, but we're gonna fix that in the next story, I'm sure. Next up. Who are we losing some point to?
Laura again. Why am I hanging out with this girl from work? She's not a real therapist.
And you're like, she really is?
No, she's an FBI agent.
Yeah, Laura's like, she's
Why
an
can't I come
FBI.
into your office? What are you hiding in there?
Oh my. You're gonna need to make it up to her somehow. Maybe she's starting now because score is down to a 4. Maybe she's starting to suspect an affair. Maybe she's suspecting an affair with Blair. But maybe she hasn't told you that she's suspecting an affair.
Probably doesn't help that Blair's single.
No, it does not. Not at all. But she doesn't know that, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the drama, you guys. The drama. DeLuca is blissfully unaware of that piece of the drama. And doing what?
Therapy again. Blair, help.
Blair is very
God.
busy this time.
She's getting all the roles.
Yep.
Yeah,
The
that's all
upshot
my
is,
luck.
if she actually fails one of the roles, she might increase her psychotherapy skill. So there's that. A D6 points to DeLuca.
Oh,
Blair,
Wow.
why are you so mad at this?
you need to follow my advice. Stop going off.
Honestly, DeLuca showed up to talk to Blair for therapy, and just let's ignore the bottle of whiskey she brought. They definitely didn't just hang out and drink.
Oh my god.
They just hung out and drank. That's what they did.
Yeah.
Who is the one who is getting more distant to DeLuca this time?
We're gonna go Sebastian, because you gotta talk to your brother. You two are literally just avoiding each other across the hallway. I'm getting tired of this.
He has a point. Family, right? There's blood bonds here. Really, Bri? Are we getting more serious here between Seb and Bri? Because I think Mom wants it to get more serious so she can get grandkids.
Yes, for DeLuca. So far, he's just been like the wonderful, peaceful, only good thing in her life. I came home and he was just so sweet. And he didn't yell at me like anybody else did.
I'm not yelling, he says, raising his voice as he does that. I mean, DeLuca is 31 now. It's definitely time to settle down and get a family, right?
That does seem like it probably... Oh, I did sign up for a covert government agency. I wonder how that's gonna work.
It's gonna be fine. You just bring your kid to work day in Delta Green. I'm sure that's gonna be just fine. Yeah. Kid, don't leave this room while we go and fight the big scary monster.
Okay, kid, follow your mom's thing. Never go outside. They lie. Sunshine isn't really that good for you.
I'm just imagining this kid on a leash. Like,
Oh my god.
we're going through a crime scene. Has like an iPad. Just, I know iPads wouldn't be a thing for a few more years, but I just have a feeling.
Yeah,
There would be an
that's
iPad
15 years in the future, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah. Talbot, speaking of, what are we doing?
I just took a look at how bad my charisma score was, and I'd like to raise that, please.
Well, that might be a good idea. Okay, let's do some stats here. You can boost either 2 separate skills or stats, or 1 stat and 1 skill.
1 stat, charisma, and occult. I think for occult, she just sends Fenton a letter. Hey, got any occult stuff I should know?
Yeah, and you know what he'll do? He'll take her to some of the meetings at the Arcanum Society.
That makes
Yay.
sense. Yeah. All right, let's see if you can raise these things. And of course, your charisma is going to be what? An anger management course or leadership course or.
Yeah, probably.
Socializing a bit, like how to be a good hostess. All right.
Probably just, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Say it.
It's probably just like specialized therapy, but it doesn't focus on addressing trauma, just not yelling at people.
Yeah, exactly. That kind of thing. Roll your charisma check, please. Unfortunately, you succeed.
Oh no.
So your charisma is not going to go up. Let's roll the occult skill.
What do I get for that?
That is a critical failure.
Is that really good or really bad?
That is really good.
Yay!
I'm going to say 18 points to the skill.
Yay!
That's a lot of points.
She joins the Arcanum Society.
She
Yeah,
joins
oh
the
my
Arcanum
God.
Society.
I just start following Fenton around everywhere. Man, this is really interesting. What else
Right?
you got?
Of
Fenton's
course,
girlfriend
because
loves
you're
that.
doing this. I'm sorry, what was that, Carol? Go ahead.
And Fenton's girlfriend loves that.
Should I
Oh
remove
my
another point?
god. Fenton is fooling around with all his FBI colleagues now?
Oh no.
Should I reduce another point from Laura?
Oh, no, you shall not.
Right? I doesn't even know it. She's just, hey, want to go on a date to the Arcanum Society? Completely oblivious.
But Talbot is definitely going to deduct a point from Bond.
I think it's going to be her dad again. He's getting suspicious. She's
Jillian,
30.
you haven't been in West Virginia for ages now.
Yeah, she's 30. She has 2 male friends. Not dating or married. What is she doing? I think
She's
that's kind of what's
being
going
in a
through. his head.
big city and, I don't know, doing weird things there.
Yeah, her dad's definitely the kind of person he still thinks that women were made to be mothers.
Mm.
So he's
Yeah, and this weird urban sophisticates. It's like you're slipping away from the social circles he usually understands.
yeah, she had her career and all that for a few years. Yeah, it was nice to play and pretend to be a self-sufficient adult, but grandkids.
Mm. Yeah, exactly. Why are there no grandkids? This is I think it's a thorough theme here for this entire group of ages, to be honest. Like, all of the parents who are still alive are asking about this because there are no kids forthcoming, no weddings forthcoming. What is this? We are moving the clock forwards here, and it is... Oh, here we go. April. Talbot will get really busy because the Oklahoma City bombing. 168 people,
yeah.
including 8 federal marshals and 19 children, are killed by Timothy McVeigh and one of his accomplices. So, yeah. And a Unabomber bomb kills the lobbyist Gilbert Murray in Sacramento, California. I think Talbot is a bit busy now.
Yeah, can't quite make it to the Arcanum Society as often as she'd like.
Because
Yeah.
she's in fact very much in need right now because for some reason a bunch of Americans have decided that bombs are cool.
Just sobbing. Everybody stop making bombs. It's not funny. Buildings are supposed to have roofs and walls. Please.
They are. Oh, on top of everything else, Sean Nelson goes on a tank rampage in San Diego.
Please stop using heavy machinery as weapons. Begging you.
Oh, I was just reading about that case actually the other day. The tank rampage.
It's just her worst nightmare. Bombs and misused forklift.
A United States F-16 is shot down over Bosnia. And what else? O.J. Simpson is doing the pair of gloves thing. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit, says his defense attorney. Sometime in the far distant future, the Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City, Utah will be held there in Salt Lake City because that's what the International Olympics Committee just decided to award the 2002 Winter Olympics to that city. Pocahontas comes out, the animated. And Stanley Cup is won by the New Jersey Devils, which is very sad because it's not a Canadian team.
Are the New Jersey Devils connected to actual devils?
From New Jersey, of course they are.
Oh, so many movies in 1995. Let's see now. Legends of the Fall. Outbreak is not at all something on your minds, right? Bad Boys. Die Hard with a Vengeance. Batman Forever. Apollo 13 is not out just yet, but Pocahontas is. Okay. Anyone goes to see Pocahontas? I don't know.
Yes.
Batman Forever, anyone?
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, to all the
Talbot.
above.
Sorry.
I know it's the one with Jim Carrey and Val Kilmer. And yeah. The Riddler and Two-Face and all that. Yeah. Blair, what are you doing this time?
Oh,
Trying hard for more therapy?
yeah, we're gonna try therapy again.
This time it works. A D4
Yay.
points back. That's better.
Yay.
We like to see that. You are almost back up to full. But
The
who
bottom.
are we not seeing?
Willow.
Of course it is. We are spreading the graces here. I don't know if she's done with her residency just yet. Maybe she will be now. But maybe it's because she has a partner. You just don't get to see her as much as you used to. And it's all her fault, right, Blair?
Yeah, totally.
It's not your fault at all. It's just every time you call them, they are busy with something together. And every time they call you, you are busy with something. And you don't notice maybe that they're calling you more often than you are calling them. I don't know. Potentially.
Possibly.
Possibly. Fenton.
That's me.
That is you.
Going to fulfill responsibilities. And I'm going to teach some summer classes at Georgetown and stuff. And basically try to increase Arcanum Society, being more involved with them again, coming out of the little rut he was in, doing some summer classes at Georgetown, teaching about esoteric stuff.
Ooh, I think I know something for your... I just realized. Your clues. As you're going through everything.
Clues. I love clues.
Yeah. I'm
Did
gonna
I find
send
out
you-
that it was the sheriff from the first operation? He is the bad guy? Silence. I didn't. I figured out your point.
I sent you a clue. In the Foundry chat.
So I'll go to New York.
Apparently. Oh, are we doing another stay on the case thing now?
No, I'm gonna do what I had originally planned.
Okay. What was it again? Say again?
Fulfill responsibilities to Arcana
Right.
Society.
Okay, yes, it's time for that because you brought Talbot up there.
Just increased by 1 then.
So close.
No, I still get 1 up at least, so it's better than nothing.
It is better than nothing.
All right.
They're
Looking at
very
all my
happy.
bonds on the verge of breaking. Wonderful.
Yeah, it's fine because all you have to do is increase your charisma and your bonds, and you're gonna be fine. Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna work out eventually, right? Which means that you don't actually lose a bond point this time. Yay! I don't know if DeLuca will lose a bond point though.
DeLuca is going to get some really good, cheap takeout food and go across the hall to her brother as a peace offering.
Oh, we are also fulfilling responsibilities, I hear. Roll sanity. Peace offering will be accepted. Barely, but still. It's gonna be a nice evening with Tony and Seb, and I don't know if Mom is there too. But you're playing... What is the favorite games here for...
Sorry.
Sorry?
Yes.
I don't know that game, but okay then.
It is the whole gimmick of the game is that when you demolish your partner, you can be like, sorry.
Seb will take it like a good sport. Talbot, aside from investigating all the bombs, what are we doing?
Probably more of what I did last time, trying to improve charisma and occult.
Very well. Let's roll that charisma check.
Come on! I know I'm gonna fail as soon as I try to do anything else.
Apparently. Your
at
occult
least I
failed,
failed again.
but
Yeah.
it wasn't a critical fumble. It wasn't a fumble by any way. Roll 3d6. Let's see how well educated you are in occult now. I think there's going to be a bond to the arcade. What? That's actually average, so it's not crazy high. So that's... But clearly you have attended all the seminars and learned so much about this over this time that you're now good enough to be professional in this topic. Fenton, are you proud of your student?
Sure am.
She's almost as good as you are now.
I'm gonna even consider maybe telling her about the secret book I'm writing, but not yet.
But not yet.
Book?
Talbot, who are we losing a point in bonds to?
I'm gonna go for Dad again.
I hardly know my daughter anymore. And that's the truth. The phone calls are getting rarer.
Just wondering, for this, could I also learn a language with this skill improvement?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
So if you're doing it the next time, you can do it. So special training that's how you do that. And then you get, because you need special training to go, or I guess they are like the custom skills, as it were. So it would be a foreign language as a custom skill. Yep, it's the same mechanic. All right, now is anyone watching Apollo 13?
Yes.
Yep.
It's a pretty cool movie. Highly recommend for anyone who hasn't seen it. If you want to see a space drama that is actually scientifically correct and very nicely dramatized. Oh my god. Waterworld comes out in July, August. I don't know if anyone went to see that one. It was a huge flop. Kevin Costner was at the height of his career, and basically this movie sank his career completely because of how expensive it was to make. Because they decided to do Mad Max on the water outside Hawaii during hurricane season. Brilliant idea. Dangerous Minds, Mortal Kombat 7 comes out in October, but that's the next quarter, so we don't look at that just yet. What else? The Midwestern United States heat wave, unprecedented, strikes the Midwest for most of July. Temperatures peak at 106 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 41 Celsius, and remain above 94, that's 34, in the afternoon for 5 straight days. At least 739 people die in Chicago alone. And then what else? Oh, it's 50 years since the atomic bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Airplane crashes. Microsoft releases Windows 95. Talbot news. No, DeLuca news. I'm sorry. DeLuca news.
Getting my grubby hands all over that.
Absolutely. I don't think the FBI does that just yet, but that's because the FBI is still in 1990 computer-wise.
Which saddens me every day.
No doubt. They're still like, yeah, we have one computer that is connected to the internet, and you have to share that with everybody else. Except, of course, DeLuca, who has her own private connection. Because she's good at that stuff.
They're like, when did you connect all these things to the internet? What are you talking about? I filled out the form. You hallucinate.
Exactly. Oh, we have someone who's arrested for industrial espionage in Phoenix, Arizona in September. What other thing do we have? The World Trade Center bombing mastermind Ramzi Ahmed Youssef is extradited to the US from Pakistan. The FBI opens a liaison office in Moscow and an FBI law enforcement training center in Budapest, Hungary. The Secret Service is granted permission to close Pennsylvania Avenue because of the Unabomber. The FBI arrests Malcolm X's daughter, Kubila Shabazz, on suspicion of planning to assassinate the Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan. New anti-terrorism legislation will pass Congress, giving the FBI broader authority to investigate organizations that advocate the violent overthrow of the US government. That's some of that stuff for the summer, I guess. Wait, we're on August. We just did August. Or did we just do August? Gee, we're doing August. I'm confusing myself. Yes. Fall is soon here, and Blair is doing what in 1995?
I think this time I'm gonna go with a stat increase, or at least try to,
Very well.
for
Which
both
one?
of them. I'll say Constitution.
Okay.
We'll go with Dexterity.
Very well. So you are doing
Nope.
a lot of fitness work, aren't you?
Yep.
hanging out in the gym and lots of stretching. Maybe, I don't know, yoga, Pilates, something like that. I don't think it was that big
Yeah.
yet, though. Your dexterity will go up, unlike your constitution,
Yay.
which means that you now have a faster initiative. Congratulations.
Yay.
Wow, Dr. Blair out doing like physical exercise and stuff? We're surprised.
Probably would have never seen it coming, but after that whole encounter in Phoenix, she's probably realized that she needs to work on herself.
I can see that reaction, yeah. Who are we losing touch with this time?
We're gonna say Dad. Just going in a row.
Yeah. Alex, we haven't had our monthly dinner together. Are you available this week?
Oh, this week. Hold on, where's my calendar? Of course, she's looking for a moment. I'm not available this week, but I should be available next week. I don't have anything the following weekend.
Ah, that's when I go to the conference. Scheduling hell you are in.
Yep.
Fenton
Fenton.
is going to take advantage of an opportunity while he's on a TDY in New York City, and he's going to stay on the case and follow up on this clue, since see if he can find this Scott Corso guy and watch him and figure out more about him and what's going on with this guy. And either maybe he is evil bad, or maybe he's got something neat. You know,
Very well.
I don't.
This time I'm gonna go with criminology because you're like actively profiling this fellow. No, you don't roll, sir. I roll secretly.
Oh, good, because I did bad.
Yeah, that was interesting. I'm gonna have to think on what kind of clue you might be coming up with. Meanwhile, are we savaging the bond to your girlfriend even more?
I will look in. Who are we gonna mess up with? Actually, no. I'm gonna go down with Maddie. Nothing bad. We're drifting. We haven't talked much in the last year.
That makes sense.
I'm just so busy with work and everything. And actually, she was in New York City and she wanted to meet up, but I was too busy doing this whole Corso thing. And
Which is not even your job, really.
yeah, but no one knows that.
No one knows that. Yeah, exactly. Oh,
Right.
I'm on
And
a
then,
case. I'm on a case, you will say. And your FBI
It's
supervisor...
above 80 again.
Yeah, it is. And your FBI supervisor, if asked, would go, what? No. What are you talking about?
I am working New York, but in my off time, I'm doing this.
Yep, clearly. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think. Again, you're putting me on the spot here. I have to think fast, and that's... I'm gonna think of something. I did before. Okay. DeLuca, Windows 95 is speaking to you. Perhaps literally if you're mad enough, but you're not yet.
It is, and I am going to attempt to fulfill my responsibilities by going over to my mom's house and getting her set up with the internet and a computer and email. That way, in the future, I can just email her when I'm on a case.
She's saying, wait, you can send a mail through a computer? How does that work? Where do you put it in? Is there a letterbox?
I have the computer set up. And
Oh,
there's
it's
just,
gonna
like,
be this
15
thing, and she's trying to put an actual physical letter into the disk drive.
No, okay.
The floppy
so
disk drive.
No, that's not how that works. But
Huh.
I'll have instructions. I just cover her computer in sticky notes explaining step by step what a mouse is, what a keyboard is. How to
So
click.
if a computer has a mouse, does it have a cat too?
Yes.
Where is the cat though?
It's
Roll
very
sanity.
important. If you get it wet, you will kill the cat.
Oh, I see. That makes sense. That does make sense. Cats hate water. Yeah. So the big box is the cat, and the little thing here is the mouse. Do they ever chase each other?
If you move the mouse, you'll see on the computer this little thing that moves. That's the mouse trying to get the cat.
Oh. Oh, and if I click on this thing that looks, this yellow thing, oh, and I push the button here, and it opened up. It's like a folder.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
And you're gonna get so many phone calls about, where did my document go? I can't find it anymore. Oh,
Listen,
yeah.
The moment the technology is there, or I can just remote into her computer and fix it from home.
Yeah, probably. If she is connected, because if she only has one phone line, she'll need the phone line when she is talking to her friends on the phone, which she's doing a lot. I think she's going to be very frustrated by the whole, if I have to connect the computer to the phone line, I can't talk to my friends while you're doing your things on my computer. It's very... Anyway. Yeah, we still have the sound of a modem. I need to have that sound as a sound effect here so we can enjoy. Do I have that? I don't think I have that downloaded. Nope. Need to fix that, clearly. Anyway. Talbot, what are you doing?
I'm going to do a fulfill responsibilities with my father.
It's time, isn't it? And
Yeah.
you know what? Since it is in fact August, it's summertime. You're taking your vacation, or part of your vacation, in West Virginia, clearly. Or you're going together somewhere. I don't know. Maybe you're going together to Cancun. You can afford it.
Probably. They're probably headed to Sicily, just
Oh,
seeing the family.
all right. Let's have a sand check. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah.
Look at that. That was the best vacation you've ever had in the past decade, at least.
Yeah.
Your father is very happy. You are very happy. I think the whole... You get another sandy point for that critical success.
Yeah.
And we get, 6 points to your bond, up to your charisma, which unfortunately is lower than that because you failed all the things. So it's going to be an 8 at least, so that's alright. But you've had a really good summer vacation with your dad, and lots of bonding here. Nice pictures, some souvenirs bought, lots of good food eaten. Yeah, that was a good time. Did you do a cruise as well? I don't know, off the coast?
I don't know. Maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Fall of 1995 is going to be here. What does that mean for us? It means lots of more murders? No? Let's see. O.J. Simpson is found not guilty of double murder, which of course causes outrage across the country, and depending on who you are. Hurricane Opal makes landfall at Pensacola Beach. A big train derailment. The Million Man March is held in Washington, D.C., conceived by Louis Farrakhan. Don't know if you remember that. I remember it. I watched it on TV. The Atlanta Braves defeat the Cleveland Indians 4-2 to win their first World Series title in Atlanta. Any baseball fans in this cell?
No.
No. It's the start of peace negotiations for the Yugoslav War. Let's see. Federal government shut down because of budget standoff between Democrats and Republicans in Congress. So you guys have nowhere to go work for about a week in the middle of November. Okay, it's National Parks and Museums, not FBI. But yeah, federal government has temporarily closed national parks and museums and run most government offices with skeleton staff. But the stock market is still going well, and the Bosnian War is ended. And the first ever full-length computer-animated feature film, Toy Story, is released. It's amazing what they can do with computers these days. DeLuca?
Thrilling, actually.
Thrilling.
I'm so excited.
NASA's probe Galileo re-enters over Jupiter. Very cool. And then there's another government shutdown in December 16th. And the first Calvin and Hobbes comic strip is published. Seminal moment, isn't it? What else? Did anyone go watch Seven?
Is this the one with the animated puppets, or the one about the 7 deadly sins?
It's the one with the Seven Deadly Sins with Brad Pitt and Morgan
Okay.
Freeman. Yeah, David Fincher.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, probably.
serial killer. And what's his name? Kevin Spacey is the baddie and is starting to break through for real. Get Shorty with John Travolta. He's really getting a second lease on his movie career now, John Travolta. Ace Ventura. The second movie. GoldenEye, new Bond movie. You're all secret agents, you have to watch GoldenEye, right?
We did sign a contract saying we would do that.
This is the first, what's his name? Pierce Brosnan Bond movie. Jumanji with Robin Williams. Yeah, but the big Christmas movie is probably Toy Story. Yeah. Blair, what are you doing for this fall of 1995?
How many quarters are there?
There's gonna be 2 more after this.
Okay.
I'm nice enough to say this now because I'm nice. I shouldn't have said that!
I'm gonna fulfill responsibilities with Dad. Just finally time within their schedules to hang out and talk.
Very well.
Oh,
We have more critical successes here. Isn't that nice? And you have... Okay, yeah, I guess your bond with Dad is now maxed out.
yay.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna have a regular doctor's evening, basically. It's ironic, because we never meet, and we never do this, and we never... Are you going golfing with Dad? Your newfound
Yeah, let's
dexterity,
do it.
right?
Yes.
Oh, you've improved your swing, Alex. I like to see that. Look at that. And let's see now. We are going to add a sanity point to you as well.
Yay.
You're almost at maxed out sanity. I've clearly not done my job as a handler here. Everybody's too sane. Nice golfing sojourn. So we've had 2 agents during this time who have been having an excellent time with their parents. This is great. I like it. You're so sweet with your parents. You're very nice. Fenton, you don't have any parents to be nice to, unfortunately.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Okay, guy. Oh, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna raise some skills. Am I gonna do that? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna raise some skills. I'm gonna try and raise my forensics and firearms skill. Okay, no good for forensics. And no good for firearms. Well, that's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate. You went to all those classes, the evening classes that FBI is offering up, and down to the shooting range, and learned absolutely nothing new. Just, yep, I've done this before. Who is deteriorating?
Let's bring Uncle Fairfield down to 4. Why not?
Okay.
He's mad that I haven't been making any improvements or changes.
Yeah, I think he's reacting to your little moonlighting in New York. Like, what was that all about? You're getting distracted by things that aren't a real case. I can understand getting bogged down into a real case and working on that, but this wild goose chase of yours? What is even happening with this?
Yeah. At least I can sleep better at night knowing that Scott was just a hack.
I guess you can, yeah.
Yeah, that's where my sanity will come back from that last run.
Maybe, yeah. DeLuca.
Okay, we're gonna try again with Tony. Okay, we got pizza. We got
Pizza.
board games.
Board games, yes. Is it the wrong board game, though? We will find out.
I've succeeded.
It is not the wrong board game. It is the right board game. Roll a d6 to see how well you succeed.
I swear to God, if this is a 1.
You've rolled so many ones. Boom! There we go. The dice gods even themselves out.
And then I'm gonna use one of those for therapy later. It's gonna be great.
So you have maxed out your bond with your brother. Tony loved the board game. Which board game was this? He loved it so much.
Monopoly. We emotionally destroyed each other. It was such a bonding moment.
He had all the hotels everywhere. And you get nothing, Bri. Nothing, I tell you. Yeah, you tell yourself that. You tell yourself that.
You're buying pizza next time.
The pizza was awesome, by the way. Nobody should ever have pineapple on it, says Tony.
It tastes so good with ham.
Tony is, of course, completely wrong. You should definitely have pineapple on pizza. Ooh, fighting words from the handler. Anyway, is Talbot someone who eats pineapple on pizza?
She's Sicilian, so I'm gonna say no.
No, absolutely not. This Canadian
fact-
abomination will not stand.
Yeah, in fact, I think if anybody puts pineapple anywhere near pizza with her, there's gonna be a knife involved. Pineapple goes in drinks. It does not go on pizza.
Listen, if Talbot says that by DeLuca, DeLuca will be like, hey, did you know that tomatoes weren't native to Italy?
Yeah, I know that. But they're good on pizza. Pineapple is not. Everybody is lying. My problem isn't that tomatoes are a fruit. My problem is that pineapples are just awful on pizza. The flavor does not go together.
It with the saltiness of the ham, it's so good.
Pizza fight.
I just give you a horrified look.
People have been putting fruit on their meat for ages.
That's fair, but not pineapple. It's just no.
Have you even fried it?
No.
Then you don't get to say.
But what are we doing for our
Oh,
free time?
did you say have I tried it? I'm sorry, I thought you said have you fried it. I have tried it. It's bad.
Anyway.
Sorry. I'm going to therapy.
Therapy.
I need therapy after what DeLuca just said. Call Dr. Blair. Like,
Okay.
Blair, I
did you
swear to
hear
God,
what
if she
DeLuca
gets
said?
North Lord
Oh.
evil, I'm gonna be
The
so
audacity.
The audacity.
Insult
Okay.
to me, insult to my culture, insult to the cow.
Roll a d6, Talbot. You get some sanity back.
Thank you. Yay.
That's not
a
bad.
betrayal.
Yes, utter betrayal. Let's see now. Yeah, that's as high as you can go.
Yay.
Who are you not talking to this time?
I'd say DeLuca, but I don't have a bond yet.
No, you.
I'm gonna say,
Start with a -1.
I think Mom. That's who I'm not talking to for a bit.
Very well.
I think she tried to convince me I was overreacting, and I can't.
Maybe this year's Christmas present doesn't go over terribly well.
Yeah, it's probably something like a book on how to find a husband.
Yes, yes, that is exactly what it is. And then big family fight because mom is, or it's not even a big family fight because dad isn't there, but like you're there for Christmas and your stepdad is gonna be like, yeah, and so on and so forth. But Mrs. Connor, your mom, is gonna do the scene where you're like, you're ruining it all, and just walks out in tears. It's gonna be right out of an Albee play or something. Yeah. You'll find her later drinking a little bit too much wine, complaining about, I'll never have a grandchild, and trying to guilt you completely. So that was Talbot's Christmas. How was everybody else's Christmas? Also nice. No sanity checks required for Christmas this year either.
I have begun expanding the reach of family members who I have set up with Yahoo emails and
Let's see now. Yeah, so we talked about GoldenEye, obviously. We dig it. You saw it. Was it good? Did you like it? I don't know.
it was good. I feel like I feel like they could make this into a game. Really culturally important for years to come.
Maybe, yeah. That's very prescient of you, yeah. Okay, we are getting to a new year, 1996, everybody.
Yay.
How scary is that? I don't know. You're all in your 30s now. Some might even be crawling up on the 40s. And still, no one has kids. That is probably a good thing, all things considered. ACEL might approve. No, they're not going to say anything about that. It's your business. In January, 12 Monkeys is released. I'm not going to lie. Mid-90s was excellent for movies. Anybody see 12 Monkeys? Bruce Willis?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Dusk Till Dawn. Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino together. And vampires.
We gotta see that for work.
The Birdcage. The Craft with teen supernatural horror thing, because it was like wizards, like witches, with Nev Campbell. Twister.
Yes.
I'm way ahead of myself here because I'm already in May, but that's okay. The first Mission Impossible movie with Tom Cruise. Obviously, you have to see that one. The Rock, Cable Guy, The Nutty Professor. Oh, you have so many, I don't know, variable quality movies to watch. All right, let's see now. What else happens? One of the worst blizzards in American history. He hits the eastern states, killing more than 150 people in January. Philadelphia receives a record 30 inches. And New York City public school closed for the first time in 18 years. Federal government is closed for several days. After the government shutdown, you also don't come into work because it's a blizzard. The Whitewater scandal. Yeah. Super Bowl 30. Dallas Cowboys versus Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay, now Talbot's definitely watching that one.
Oh, we have the 1996 Honolulu hostage crisis. And the U.S. Embassy in Athens, Greece comes under mortar fire. I don't remember that one. Maryland train collision. Gary Kasparov beats Deep Blue in a second chess match. Sorry, DeLuca. Boom. What else do we have? Oh, here we go. We have federal officers in a standoff again. In March, the anti-government freemen and federal officers in Jordan, Montana have a long standoff. Fenton might be involved in that one, in case the freemen are a cult, which they're not. They're an anti-government Christian patriot militia.
Sounds like a cult.
Sounds like a cult, yeah. Let's go with that. They are direct descendants of the Posse Comitatus movement. So far-right extremists, basically.
By the way, that still falls under the purview of the division he's in.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Braveheart is going to win 5 awards out of 10 for the Academy Awards this year. Who watched... I forgot to mention Braveheart for some reason. Someone. That was in the summer, I believe. What are we doing this winter of 1996 with 12 Monkeys and Windows 95 and other things with numbers in them? Dr. Blair.
She is going to be spending time with Mom, fulfilling responsibilities.
Very well.
Okay.
I guess Mom is pleased that you came by.
Yeah, she still hung out at least.
Yeah, and you couldn't get it up higher than that anyway, because your max is 10. That's the thing, because you're
yeah.
spreading out the bond losses. It's very easy to get them all the way up again. Good for you. Brian Fenton,
Sure.
Are you hanging out with someone? Time to patch things up with girlfriend? No?
Now hear me out. Now that I'm all buddy with Mr. Corso, collector of esoteric books and shite, right?
Not necessarily buddy.
We're buddy, right?
Oh, you gonna make a bond with him?
No.
Okay.
Could
maybe
he
not buddy.
maybe have a book that is not just a cult, but actually touches on the real thing? Would there be access to study the unnatural through him?
Okay, gotcha.
Picking up, because we both have that shared interest. Remember, you're saying he was a collector of
Oh,
books and
yeah,
stuff.
absolutely. Mr. Corso is going to say, I know, he's going to show you a bunch of rare books, but none of them are going to be the real thing enough for you, I don't think.
Okay, in that case, then I'll just do a skill increase with occults and alertness as I'm becoming slightly more paranoid about things like a bump in the night.
Not at all.
Occult first. Did we learn anything new from all these neat books? Of course not. Why would I? Alertness.
You are very occulty.
Are you kidding me?
Wow. That's just a bit sad, to be honest.
You're telling me.
As much as you're trying, who are we losing a point to?
Let's just pile it on with Laura. It's been a bad year for the relationship. Bad 2 years for the
Clearly.
relationship.
By now she's probably convinced that you're seeing someone else, and she wants some explanations here.
She thinks I was having an affair in New York. I was actually just talking to this creepy guy with all these really creepy books.
Yeah, in his creepy bookstore, somewhere in, I don't know, Greenwich Village. It's like a basement store, really. You go down the steps, which makes it even creepier because it's so dark down there. No sunlight comes in.
Oh, man.
Sad. DeLuca, Windows 95. This is your time to shine. Are you installing it on all the FBI computers?
Absolutely. And then I'm going to Blair for the therapy because my boss yelled at me.
And then they all crash because it's Windows 95, and that's what they did until you had a bazillion updates. That was so close to a crit, to be honest, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Slightly off.
Blair, they yelled at me.
Not that much. It's success. You gain a D10, a D6. What a D10? What am I talking about? A D6.
Blair, why don't you love me?
I think maybe if you actually listen to the advice I've given you, maybe it would be more helpful.
And did the exercises and everything? Oh my god. You've had such bad luck with your... What is that? That you've done therapy 3 times and you've collected like 4 points altogether or something?
Yes.
That's just so below average. Who are we losing a point to?
Tony.
Of course. With it, because you're still on good terms and everything. You're getting along fine. Why is nobody getting married in this group? Talbot, are we getting married yet? Develop a new bond, a significant... No, you maybe not.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
I forgot that was even an option. Anyway.
It is an option. But you have some bonds.
I'm going to try to increase my charisma again. And this time I'm going to try to increase the unnatural skill
no,
check. And
that you cannot do by... The only way to do that is
Okay.
by study the unnatural. As it happens, I believe... Let's see now.
can I ask Fenton to borrow some books?
You can, because he has a higher unnatural skill than you do. But you have to pick between improving a skill or studying the natural, because it's not the same exercise.
Okay, never mind.
Also, just to warn you, study the unnatural can really damage a bond.
Yes, it can.
Okay. How about alertness and charisma?
Very well. Alertness is probably trained by doing the FBI's...
Actually, never mind. Sorry, can I do dodge instead? Is that possible?
Absolutely. You are clearly doing the running course or something, or doing a room clearing maneuvers or such. Yeah.
Yeah, or just challenging Fenton to dodgeball. I don't know.
That
Anyone
works
to
too.
dodgeball.
Challenging me to dodgeball, did you say?
Yes!
Okay.
Why not?
I'm pretty sure your character is the closest, or so just
Alright,
makes
let's do
sense.
some dodgeball.
bothering you at all hours of the day.
More reason for Laura to hate me.
In the middle of the night, there's a red rubber ball that just bounces off the window.
I love it.
Bonk. And finally, you have failed with something.
Not dead yet.
And you failed your charisma too. So your charisma will, in fact, go up 1 step.
Yay.
Yay! And your dodgeball will go up 3d6 steps. Because dodgeball is an important sport to train
Yay.
for this particular. That was slightly below average, but it's better than nothing, right?
Yep.
And it could literally be the difference between life and death. Meanwhile,
Imagine she's at her office, looking at her desk, and I'm sneaking around the corner and just throw dodgeballs at her.
Exactly. Swap, swap. And she's, oh, that was not how I should do that, she says when she got the dodgeball right in her face.
Break a computer, and DeLuca gives me a 5-hour-long lecture about how we have to be nice to computers.
There's a cat in there.
There's a cat in there. And it's very temperamental. Every time you poke it with a keyboard, it gets a little bit angrier. That's why it heats up. Or was it a demon?
Well,
maybe it's a cat demon.
Nerf guns don't exactly have the same dodging ability as the good old red rubber dodgeball. Yeah, I hope these never go out of style.
You are now the best dodger in the group, Talbot.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's bad for the group, to be honest. But what are we getting here in terms of lesser bond score?
Oh. Finley, probably.
Is he finding love finally? He's
Yeah,
moving
I
on
think
with
his
his
ex
life.
came back. I think his ex came back for the second time, and she's just, we've done this song and dance before. I'm always right. She's always gone within the month with a new boyfriend, and you know I'm right. And he's mad at her for it.
Yeah, but it's gonna work this time. I promise. It's definitely gonna work. You don't understand. We're gonna settle down. We're gonna have family. It's gonna be great.
I hope I'm wrong, but I never am.
You're wrong. Everybody ready for the final quarter? It is May 1996. And things are happening in the world again. Let's see. NBA Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan's lead go on to set a new NBA record for the most wins in a season, with their 70th win. Any basketball fans?
DeLuca exclusively watches sports so she can root for the opposite team of all of her family members.
Broadway hit musical Rent opens at the Nederlander Theater. It's gonna be a big hit. It is a big hit. Let's see now. Twister. Anybody watches Twister?
Sure do. Love that movie.
Bill Paxton.
Cow.
Yeah.
Love a cow.
I think that's the same cow.
What? Yeah, it's flying. Yeah, we go.
When I was little, watching that movie and too young to be smart, I used to think that Twisters had sentience and that they were intentionally malicious in that movie.
Oh.
And so now Fence is gonna watch that movie thinking those are evil Twisters. There's definitely something going on there, something unnatural.
You have good news too from the Hoover Institution, because it says that global warming will probably reduce mortality in the United States and provide Americans with valuable benefits, which in retrospect seems really awesome, doesn't it? There is a lot of Iraq continues to refuse UN inspectors to inspect their armament sites. Colorado Avalanche wins their first Stanley Cup in their first season based out of Denver, Colorado, defeating Florida Panthers. Again, it's not a Canadian team, so we can't even acknowledge that this happened. And, a panel of federal judges blocks laws against indecency on the internet. And the standoff between the Montana Freemen and FBI agents end with their surrender, finally, in June. The last fourth-generation Chevrolet Corvette rolls off the assembly line at the GM assembly plant in Kentucky.
Wait, there's indecency on the internet?
No, not at all. Clearly not. The internet is a haven of only decency and civility and niceness.
DeLuca finds Tumblr. It changes her life.
Tumblr doesn't exist yet. but I'm sure the equivalent does. There are plenty of bulletin boards out there. Walt Disney's 34th feature film, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Anyone watches that one?
Probably.
The Nutty Professor with Eddie Murphy. He's definitely enjoying his career going well at the moment. It's a very successful movie. Never seen it myself. Blair, what are we doing this spring of 1996?
Time to spend time with her sister.
I agree. It is very much time to do that. It's a point. Even if you fail,
Yeah.
you manage to max them out again because you're just doing that. You're nibbling at the bonds a little bit. We've maintaining these bonds very strongly with Blair. She's clearly a
Very
family
much so.
person and very dedicated to keeping in touch with her family, which is lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is-
I wonder if I'll be the only one to survive with a family after all this.
Are you? Yeah, I was gonna say, are you the only one who will be able to have those ties to your family? Also, Blair, we forgot to say that because last fall you turned 40. Big family
Oh,
bash,
yeah.
clearly. And everybody's
Yeah.
still wondering when you're gonna settle down. And the clock is ticking, says Mrs. Blair. Fenton.
Mhm.
We're not gonna patch things up with girlfriend yet?
No, maybe I'm planning for that to fall apart. You don't know.
No, I don't.
I'm doing fulfill responsibilities, and
Towards whom?
it's gonna be Uncle Guy Fairfield working closely together with his Montana Freeman standoff, and then maybe taking a more admin role, assisting him with stuff in the FBI and stuff.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Moving on more from out of the field all the time to more administrative role alongside him
Yep.
as he's trying to groom my career.
Yeah, he's definitely old enough to no longer be in the field. And that is a success. Fenton and Fairfield gets around excellently.
1D
Yep. D6.
very well.
Very well indeed. Look at that.
So I can't go above 8 because my charisma's 8, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. Either way.
That's your closest person right now.
Yeah, he's really focused on my career, trying to groom me, and
Yeah. Very much. We want you to become a special agent in charge one day. Or supervisor special agent.
we've always been close too, and with all the stress and everything going on, focusing so hard to work,
Yeah.
getting closer and closer with him.
Yeah, he's very proud of the work you did with the Freemen. Nobody died, which is the most important part, at least on your side. I don't remember that standoff at all. But he's very pleased with this. Poor Miss Nye. One day she might just decide that it's time to move on from this relationship. But she
We
hasn't
can't
done it
keep doing
yet.
This is, I think, round 3 or 4.
Yeah. You are 33 years of age now, Mr. Fenton. Yeah. Will he get to experience turning 34? Nobody knows yet.
I feel like we could do that. It's fun. Let's do 34. Yeah.
Maybe. Ms. DeLuca, what are we doing?
We are going to, because drama is fun, we're
Mhm.
going to fulfill responsibilities towards Sebastian.
Ooh.
She had her birthday, and so they're gonna go out and celebrate.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And it's a nice birthday. They have fun. They clink glasses. It's a good enough restaurant, though maybe not stellar. There might be some nice intimate moments afterwards when they get home.
I like to imagine he's been like absolutely attempting to set up like a proposal, and she keeps missing all of the hints.
And he never really gets to bring out the little box with the ring in it. And it's just...
Every time he's about to, she says something that completely derails the conversation. And they're talking about something else. And
I was... Yeah.
it's just one of those sad things where the scene changes and then you just see him sitting on the side of the bed while she's sleeping and he pulls out the ring and he's like, why?
Your sanity is so low.
Yes, I'm aware.
What happened to you? Do you need to talk?
I started low and I cannot do therapy to save my life.
Yeah, that's basically it. She tried really hard with the therapy, though. She tried hard. She went to therapy so many sessions, and not a single session was terribly successful. Very sad. But I'm sure Blair and her, I think there's room here for develop a new bond or something.
Listen, the therapy part of those conversations was not great.
No,
The
it wasn't.
bonding
Not at all.
was we got drunk, we talked about things that like started as therapy and turned out to just be gossip. It was delightful.
Very delightful. Very delightful indeed. Oh, Talbot.
Yes.
What are we doing?
I think Talbot has decided to help with her charisma. She started to read books. Ones that are about the strange things in life. The Secret History, Wicked, The Metamorphosis. And she also continued her reign of terror over Fenton. So,
So what are we doing?
same as last quarter.
What was that?
Charisma and... Same as last quarter, charisma and dodge improvement.
Oh, okay. So more dodgeball.
Yeah.
You've taken lots of leadership trainings. That was the closest we've ever seen. She just manages to get hit by the dodgeball. Okay then, let's go. 3d6 in dodgeball. In dodge, yeah. And charisma is now back up to a 10.
Yay.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't lose sanity from the rain of terror. Excellent.
You're welcome.
What? You rolled sanity from dodgeballing? I guess you can. Yeah, 3d6, please, Talbot, for your
Oh, yep. Sorry, I forgot.
increase in your dodge skill. You know that this just means one thing. They're
What?
gonna send you first all the time now, because you're the one who can dodge.
I
Of
have
course.
the fastest initiative and the least amount of self-preservation. I'm always the one going first.
Of course, if you are the one going first, and you succeed in dodging, maybe someone else behind you will get hit.
Oh, no.
That's their problem, isn't it? Who are we not talking to this time?
Finley, I'm still mad at him.
Really?
Yeah. He keeps doing this. I've told him his ex is bad. And every time they break up because she's cheated, he tells me to remind him never to get back with her, and he always does it.
But they're gonna get married now and be happy forever.
Oh,
Yes.
not.
Promise.
Fine. Just keep all the receipts for the rings, vendors, everything.
Yeah, he's ready to settle down. He really is. He's more mature now than he was in his 20s. It's gonna work
I'm
out.
not
It's gonna work
I'm
out.
not doubting that you're ready. I'm just doubting the person you choose to do this with.
Yeah, sure. I'm definitely gonna go to you for relationship advice.
I'm just saying, I haven't gotten back with my cheating ex at least 4 times.
And how many exes do you have?
None! That's why I'm perfect for relationship advice.
That doesn't even make any sense, says Talbot. Someone who never was in a serious relationship trying to give me relationship advice? Come on!
I've never built a bomb, but I'm very good at figuring them out.
He's just gonna go, that was just a weird thing to say.
You know my job, it's not that weird.
That's fair. That's fair. We are closing in on the end of this downtime session. And, sends an invite for the next therapy session. We like that. There is no drama at all between these agents. These agents who are surprisingly mentally healthy, for the most part. We don't have a single one below 50 sanity. And not everybody here is very family-oriented or bond-oriented. Talbot and Fenton, I'm looking at you. Not a single bond at two figures for you guys. That's just sad. I'm sure it's not going to be a problem in the future, though.
I just have low charisma.
You have better
Whoa.
charisma now.
10. It's barely double digits.
It is double
Hey.
digits now. You can actually get double digit
Hey.
bonds. It's lovely. Yeah, you worked on that hard. So I guess you have actually done your due diligence here to get there. Yeah. I can tell you this much. The downtime will end with September of 1996. When your lives are going to be rudely interrupted, as it were. But how and why and the nature of this new operation that was going to introduce you to Night at the Opera will be revealed in a week from now. What I can say is that this is the horror that started it all. The very first story written for Delta Green, 1992. Now updated for the new role-playing game. And it's called Convergence. I guess we just have to leave you with thinking about what that means. Until next week, when we shall meet again. Thank you to our lovely audience for tuning in and watching the everyday life shenanigans of these agents of Z-Cell. I said it correctly again! Even though it should be Z-Cell. But it's an American cell in Delta Green, which is an American organization, so it's clearly Z-Cell. And they, for these 2 years, they haven't been, it's not completely 2 years. I guess it's coming up on exactly 2 years, because it's going to be September 96, and you haven't been disturbed by them from since 94. There's been basically no contact from Delta Green in all that time. Just as a finishing thought here before we actually end, what might your agents' reactions to this be? Like, they were told that they are now members of Delta Green. You have your code names, you have your protocols, and for 2 years there hasn't been any word at all. Blair, reaction.
She's probably questioning if this is actually real now, because they haven't gotten back to us. We haven't got said anything.
That makes sense. Maybe it was a hoax all along, and they were like, "Ha." Fenton?
He's getting anxious.
Is it real? Have I been set up? Is it another bunch of hacks and loonies?
He thinks he's real. He thinks it's real. He wants to get back out there, get in the field. Well, it's one of those things where he's terrified of it, but he's still fascinated, and he wants to know more because he still hasn't learned his lesson.
There are different types of reactions to meeting the unnatural, and for some of them, addiction is a consequence. Maybe Fenton will be one of those. I'm sure it's going to be completely healthy for his mind, though.
Maybe. At this point, 2 years later, he's pretty much finished his write-up and summaries of the events, the cases he already dealt with.
Yep.
He wants to know more.
That is very understandable. DeLuca, as much as you're looking at that email server and wanting to get that connect from Delta Green, it's just not coming through.
I'm like, I was promised a shiggity government thing to get my little mitts on and get into their computers, and they haven't shown up. And I can't, she's really just considering the whole hacking thing. She's like,
She is disappointed. That is what she is. Blair is relieved. Fenton and DeLuca are disappointed. What about Talbot?
Talbot knew this was going to happen. Her job is just getting the calls that nobody wants to get. Because with bombings, that's never
Yeah, that's
pretty.
never a fun thing.
Yeah, so she's just used to, like, it's gonna happen. Not every day, but you're gonna get a call and it's gonna be bad. So this is just another thing that she knows she's gonna have to deal with.
But maybe then Talbot and Blair are on the we are relieved side of things, while Fenton and DeLuca are just for different reasons. Because Fenton wants to see the unnatural or study it more closely, and DeLuca just wants to get more into Delta Green and that organization and whatever they're doing with their computer network.
She's definitely excited to help people and learn how to help people. It's just that there's this kind of familiar dread to getting these calls. People don't call her because everything's going great. So.
Absolutely true. Yeah. Next week they will get a call. They have no idea yet, but they will. The signal, the Delta Green code will be sent out, and Z-Cell with agents Zosamu, Zelda, and Zona will be activated. So I hope to see everybody again next week, and thank you for watching, and ring the bell, subscribe, talk in the chat, and then ACell can reach you too, and you will never be the same again. Thank you, audience. See you in a week. ACell out.